Today I thought I would show you something that we have built into NoTouch Center. It's a cool little utility and tool that many people are unaware of that's there that you might need to take advantage of. Let's call this the acceptable use policy. Many organizations have a requirement where they have to have an acceptable use policy that's presented to their users before they're able to use the system. We've also found through history that many times acceptable use policies as a Windows policy will interrupt VDI connections or thin client connections, often causing problems. So with Stratodesk, we actually have a way to address that and to create an acceptable use policy that is part of the connection and not part of the Windows policy. And that's what I'm going to show you here real quickly. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the group device or group settings of my devices, and we're going to create a new connection. We'll call this one Azure Virtual Desktop or AVD. We're going to create an AVD connection, and as part of that connection, then we'll choose the connection mode and we'll choose Citrix Azure Virtual Desktop. By the way, you see here all the different connection options that we provide, but that's not today's subject. Now, the next thing you'll notice is that connection property has been propagated or inherited to all the devices that are part of the device tree. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the AVD connection. We're going to go to the extended tab. Now that I'm on the extended tab, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go find the start banner short text message. And we're going to put in here, this is a acceptable use policy. And actually, let's make it grammatically correct here. We'll say this is an acceptable use policy. And then the title of that window is acceptable use policy. And we can add this and we can say use of this system, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You get the point. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make the announcement and push that setting out to the devices. So while that announcement is taking place and being pushed out to my devices, again, so think of it where you have an acceptable use policy requirement that you need to be able to create a dialog box around a connection property that the users acknowledge or aware of something that's occurring because of corporate policy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shadow one of my devices so you can see how this works. So we're going to do a shadow connection. You now see that my AVD connection that I created is on the desktop for the user. And we'll go ahead and launch that connection. And there it is. There's the acceptable use policy dialog box that I just created using the banner templates within the extended properties.